Washington football. Hail victory. Dun, 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 dun. Chase on the warpath. Fight for all DC. Woo!
Let's go, baby.
I can't believe it. That was crazy, dude. I haven't had that much fun watching Washington football ever since their first game. But no, even following that team for a long time, I don't know. I've been thinking through, when was the last time? Can you think of a moment in his franchise history? What game comes to mind when you think of like huge moments?
So there is the entire season of RG3 when we thought we were something, and like making the playoffs. That was fun. But this feels different. This feels different because of the culture change, because of the people we have in leadership, all around team effort. By that I mean defensive line, and everyone else has responded to just do their job after the defensive line was exceptional. So I don't know. This is different. It's different.
Mark, were you old enough to remember the game with? Like, when I think of a moment, I think of the game with Santana Moss when he scored 2 touchdowns in the last, 2 minutes against the Cowboys.
Mark Brunell slinging back there.
Mark Brunell.
Yes.
So the game was 10-0, right? Going into the fourth quarter, 2 minutes left in the game. Santana Moss streaks down the field. Brunell, who can't throw the ball more than 10 yards, somehow lobs this disgusting floating warbler of a football.
Gross throwing motion. It was just everything.
Yeah, it was like the whole Brunell hitch. Santana Moss destroys their secondary, runs right by him, scores, I don't remember how far it was, over 50 yards. They do I don't think they do an onside kick. I think they try and they don't get it or something. I don't remember the whole game. So I'm making it up now. All I know is that they got the ball back. There was a little bit of time left, and they did it again. They did the same play, and you're like, they can't possibly do this. And that was the end of the game. It was nuts.
I actually had the poster of him catching the ball, looking back when I know Roy Williams is the safety. I don't know who the other Cowboys, but it's they dive and it goes between them. Yeah, and he walks into the end zone.
It was incredible. Oh, you know what? And shout out to someone who should listen to this podcast, to Amanda Wirtz. If you haven't started listening to us, you totally need to. Tammy was at our house that night, if I remember correctly. And it was like a Sunday night football game or Monday night or something. It was a primetime game. And it was way too late for us because we were young. Yeah, I don't think you were. You might have been born, but you were little.
Mark Brunell?
Am I just making things up?
It wasn't that. Yeah, I definitely watched that game.
Okay. Well, anyway, we were all there. Tammy came over. That is Washington football in a nutshell. So knowing the rest of the history of Washington football, we are in for a horrible season. But
it's different.
We will relish this moment while we can. Anyway, the season has officially started. I don't know about you, Mark. I think I watched every possible game I could this weekend. And my eyeballs are burning. But week 1 is officially here. The season has commenced, and we are here with your week 1 recap. So I'm going to kick it over to you, Mark, with headlines and hearsay.
And so we've started a time when absolutely nothing gets done on Sunday anymore. Just sit in front of the couch all day. Headlines and hearsay. Got a few things to kind of run through here, mostly about injuries, but some updates as well. So Le'Veon Bell, hamstring issue there, put on the IR for at least 3 games. Come back at minimum week 5. Marlon Mack, torn Achilles. He is out for the year. Your very own Jonathan Taylor should be seeing some more touches there.
I was going to say, I don't know if this is the right time or not, but are you talking about my boy JT bringing sexy back?
I think that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I think that is.
I think he has solidified that nickname. I thought about it a while ago, but I was like, I gotta wait for the moment. But Justin Timberlake, Jonathan Taylor, JT, one and the same.
Sexy has arrived. So, continuing to the list.
Anyway, moving on.
Unfortunately, my own Blake Jarwin, 20 ACL, out for the year. So my tight end by committee. Hopefully the other ones work. Michael Thomas, go ahead.
Anyway, I was just going to say about Blake Jarwin, it's sad, but it's also just like his replacement was pathetic, dude. Like, there was so much potential this season for Blake Jarwin. He was somebody I was really rooting for, and I have him in another league. And I went with that like whole last ditch effort tight end, only one tight end situation. So I am suffering as well, Mark. But anyway, I think his name's like Dalton Schultz or something. Dalton, but it might as well be Dalton Doofus because that guy is like a lumbering idiot. All right, he got an actual like tight end like screen run kind of situation. What's that called? Stretch pass, like a. Oh my gosh.
I didn't watch like a sweep, like a jet sweep.
Thank you, jet sweep. So he got his own little jet sweep to the tight end and just was like doop 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 all down the field. There was a couple passes that were thrown to him. He just like totally missed them. Like it's just that sucks. I mean, I'm thankful because it's the Cowboys, but
it's kind of nice.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go back to your headlines in here, say.
Next, we got Michael Thomas. Originally thought to just be a brief thing he'd fight through, but it sounds like I just got an alert saying that it's going to be a few weeks. So we'll kind of see how that plays out. That'll be nice for a few weeks of my Emmanuel Sanders getting some extra targets.
For sure. You don't want to mess with high ankle stuff. That's just
nagging kind of thing there. David Njoku, MCL tear, or not tear, but MCL injury. Out for 3 games, the minimum there. And then Mohamed Sanu just signing with the 49ers.
Yes.
Just tonight. So those were my headlines and hearsay. If we want to move into the week in review, some of the notable actions from each of the players.
Yeah, so we've broken up players into fantasy relevance based on heavy hitters, head scratchers, and then just the plain horrible. So to start it off with the heavy hitters, our top 3 quarterbacks this week were Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers looked like he was pretty upset with the way that draft went recently and wanted to make sure that young gun knew who was the real quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. I was definitely very thankful that he decided to throw pretty much everything to Devontae Adams. Beast week as well.
He was a benefactor.
We'll talk about him in a second. But no, Josh Allen, he was a stud. He threw it like over 40 times. This is his first ever 300-yard passing game. Did you know that, Mark?
I did. He also got a lot on the ground.
Yes, he did.
We did know that about him.
He did. And then Russell Wilson, he's finally allowed to cook, as he says. And he passed a ton as well, way more than usual, and passed 2 of those touchdowns right over to my boy, Chris Carson. So I was pretty stoked about that. But all in all,
he heard that we called him out for not being a catching threat in our review of the rankings. So
correct. I think you said that. I would never have said that about my friend Chris.
Sure.
But
go way back.
We go way back, all the way back to last season when I drafted him. But on top of that game was just nuts in general. Seahawks versus the Falcons. Matt Ryan himself. He didn't make the top 3, but he threw for over 450 yards, had 3 receivers with 100 yards catching, and still managed to lose the game. So
that's the Atlanta way.
That is the Atlanta way. But anyway, moving on to running backs. Josh Jacobs was our top scorer this week. He scored 3 touchdowns on the ground, and I don't remember. He ran for over 100 yards. I know that much. I don't remember the exact number, but he might as well just be known as their offensive scheme at this point. Mm-hmm. He's doing his best Saquon Barkley impersonation. Christian McCaffrey, he was a bust this week. He scored a measly 33 points, I think it was, or something like that.
Pretty disappointing week for him.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, dude. We've come to expect more. Definitely after that bold statement he made earlier on one of our other podcasts about him going to be the replacing Teddy Bridgewater as their quarterback, as well as their running back and wide receiver.
Really cocky player. Yeah, I can't believe he would have said that. But he did.
Honestly, CMC, you suck. I said it here first.
I like you, Christian.
Yeah, well, then Ezekiel Elliott, also doing his best Saquon Barkley impression, just ran all over the LA Rams that night. But they also managed to lose. But he was just being
perfect game for me.
Yes. You were able to cheer for Ezekiel Elliott, but still love the demise of the Dallas Cowboys, who I believe are tied for last place in the NFC East division.
Oh, really?
Right? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think there's only actually one team with a record above 500. Is that right?
Wait, what team is that?
That would be the Washington Football Team.
Because our boy Ron Burgundy.
Right. Yes. We are going to dig in really hard with this because we know for a fact come next week, our tone will be much different. So
we need to enjoy this.
When these moments happen, this is our Super Bowl. So you can mark it now. This is as good as it's going to get. Moving on to wide receivers.
I knew you were excited for this part.
I think you should talk about these, Mark, because I don't want to accidentally pee myself in excitement. So your turn.
Devontae Adams, decent game. Yeah, all right.
He scored more points in that week than some players are going to score all season long. I'm just saying.
Calvin Ridley, good week. Touchdown.
Yeah.
Got some yards.
I definitely appreciated that trade this week.
I know.
Between Jonathan Taylor and Calvin Ridley. Thank you, my friend.
We knew Ridley was going to get a lot of targets. That was absurd. He got a lot. Speaking of targets, DeAndre Hopkins, not to quickly transition from here to receivers.
Okay.
But DeAndre Hopkins, he is their offense. Kyler Murray will just continue to target him. I believe there was 15 targets, 14 catches, 150 plus yards.
That's insane.
He's going to be a monster.
Yeah.
And that's really helping out Phil Neuer. I think that's going to be a big plus on that team.
True. I will say that when we did the rankings, I honestly didn't think, DeAndre Hopkins is a phenomenal receiver.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I didn't think he'd be able to develop chemistry that fast, given COVID-19 and everything with Kyler Murray. So to see them have that chemistry right off the bat, like, damn, that's going to be pretty incredible to watch. Having no real take either way with the Cardinals, that's just a fun division to watch. That is the AFC West, or as some say, NFC West, NFC best at the moment with those teams. That is a stacked division. That's going to be fun to watch.
I think every one of them has playoff potential in them.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
I think that's the actual reason they expanded the playoffs this year, is just so that they can get as much of that division in the playoffs as possible.
It's true.
But
it's true.
Anyway,
tight ends here. I think this one was...
Well, this one's pretty much just chalk. This is what we've seen all the time with tight ends, right, Mark?
Yeah, always.
You can just write these three in. No, obviously Mark Andrews, they're in spot number 2. That's typical to see, but Dallas Goedert being the top tight end this week. Normally that would bring us a lot of misery, Mark, but not this week. Yeah. It was fun to watch him destroy our secondary and still lose. So, yeah. Goddard number 1, Mark Andrews number 2, and then Noah Fant. That was kind of a nice surprise. And spot number 3. I wouldn't be surprised if he is a big waiver wire pickup this week. Obviously, he's already claimed it in our league as a dynasty league, but a lot of redraft leagues. Go check it out. He might be on your waiver wire. And if you have a fab system like you do, I would say
like you should.
Yeah, like you should. If you don't, then just quit your league. It's stupid. But I would say you could probably do at least 25% of your budget for that guy. But
be good.
That's my thinking.
Getting yards, getting the touchdowns, getting the right amount of red zone targets. Looks good.
For sure. So those are our heavy hitters this week. On to the next part of this segment, our head scratchers. So a little explanation around here. Our head scratchers are more players that performed very well on someone's bench, basically. So this is more an attack on their GMs as opposed to the players themselves. So in our league this week, there are 3 head scratchers. Number 1 was Al Beasy with Darius Slayton on his bench. And the worst part about it was that he lost by a margin that if he had switched this player out, he would have won. He would have won. And this, of course, is rivalry week. And he is now sitting 0-2 versus rival. So
dating back to last year.
Yeah, dating back to last year.
Gut-wrenching head scratcher there.
Yes. Now, would I have done the same? Quite possibly, but I didn't. So we're not talking about me. We're talking about you.
That's on him.
And that's on you, my friend. All right, Mark. Who's next?
We got Jared here, who came in as the worst manager of the week, mainly because of this pick.
Yeah.
On our sleeper app, Malcolm Brown, 30 points on the bench. I mean, how did you not know that he was going to be the bell cow?
It was so obvious. I mean, the Rams are like, they were tipping their hand. It was Malcolm Brown all the way.
It was clear the whole time. I get it.
Yeah. If you weren't our brother-in-law, we would say much worse things. That's all I'm saying. But the ironic thing is he still ended up winning this week. And he sure had the last laugh when in the comments he made comments about the fact that how does it feel to lose to the worst manager, I think is what he said. So
can't be good.
I don't know.
Luckily, I'm not aware.
Yeah. I wasn't playing him, but our buddy Connor unfortunately was. So sorry, dude.
Sorry, Connor. Last, another no-brainer pick here from Seymour, Dallas Goedert. I don't know why you're not starting him. That's a must start every week. 30 points.
I will say, I'm going to go look at his team right now because I feel like that actually is a little bit more of a no-brainer than not. Dallas Goedert is no.
He's not a slouch.
No, but okay. So he started Hayden Hurst. Oh no,
I think he has Hunter Henry, if I remember correctly. I'm
looking at Connor's, not Seymour's. My bad. So he actually started, like you said, Hunter Henry. So
makes sense, but idiot.
It makes sense, but no, it doesn't. you should have totally gone with it. But those are our head scratchers this week. May you and I never be in that list, Mark.
We get to control the list. Maybe we will never be.
Now, yeah, that is quite a possibility. But lastly, the horrible. So I think the top one is just like is a head scratcher in itself. More just this one's towards the player though. That was Michael Thomas with his measly 5 points, and then also the injury, yeah, and it was so pointless. It was just it was near the end of the game. A player was going for it. The game was already in hand, and some player rolled up over his leg, and now he's got a high ankle sprain. So that is very unfortunate. But like I said, it is at the end of the game, so he still did not perform this week. I'm not sure what was going on. Drew Brees, obviously he got it done, but it wasn't. He's starting to look a little old. Him and Tom in that game.
Old man.
Yeah, that was definitely the over 35 division.
Over 40.
Yeah, over 40. But the joke was over 35 because
I see.
Adult leagues. But
over 40.
Over 40 for sure. But the real question is, will they ever make it to the over 50 game? I would not be surprised.
I'm not betting against Tom.
I'm not betting against Tom. Or, Drew Brees is right there. Like, when I was watching that game, all it was just, like, record after record that they're, like, right on top of. Like, this, yeah, it was nuts.
Next one.
Yes.
I thought this one was the crazy one to me was Nick Chubb getting 7 points in this, and also Kareem Hunt having more carries than him in the game.
Yeah.
I know Kareem Hunt was kind of a popular, potential flex play or just kind of see what happens on your bench.
For sure.
And to see it being like a run by committee between two of them, splitting it, that surprised me. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, that's nuts. I mean, they were playing the Ravens, so I wasn't expecting an awesome game from either one of them, but to see Hunt get more carries makes me very happy. So I don't have him in our Dynasty League, but I have him in other leagues. So looking forward to that.
Has both.
Yes.
And so I think that's exactly what you don't want to see in that situation is splitting rather than just having a bell cow in the backup.
Right. I mean, that's almost worse than having, the wrong one is having both of them, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to be on that head scratcher list of picking the wrong one. So I would rather just roll with one and see what happens. So if you want to get rid of Kareem Hunt, hit me up. Yeah. I will gladly trade. But that completes our week in review.
We do have one surprising one here about the Lions running back.
You're right. I totally skipped over that.
The Lions running back, not named Adrian Peterson.
We're horrible. Yes. Dude, that sucks. They just he has vultured everything for them. So Kerryon Johnson, awesome. 7 carries for 14 yards and 2 points. And
then can't forget Swift dropping the last second touchdown pass in the end zone.
I know. Yeah, crazy. I would not be surprised if he does not leave the bench next week. Just either that or they're going to just tape the ball to his hands.
There you go.
I don't know.
He's not getting another target.
No, not for a little while.
But now we can transition.
Yes, I'm sorry. I got a little excited because our next segment.
As you should.
Is our hot takes tracker. So this is where we can look back at some of the stupid things we said in previous episodes and see how stupid were they, really. So I will start. I made the prediction that Tom Brady would throw more picks than Baker Mayfield for this season. And so far, our tracker has Tom with 2 picks and Baker with 1 pick. So I don't know about you, but I look pretty smart right now. And to continue in that vein, I had Marvin Jones outscoring Kenny Golladay in fantasy points this year. So far, he is already 12 points ahead. And I don't see how Kenny Golladay could possibly surpass him at this point.
How do you get 0 points in the first week?
I know, like seriously, dude. What are you, Michael Thomas?
Are you hurt?
Right. Yes, I will beg, borrow, and steal to do whatever it takes to have Marvin win. So play dirty. I'm not saying that I hurt Kenny Golladay. I'm just saying that I'm rooting for Marvin Jones. But my last hot take that I'm mentioning today, I had Hayden Hurst and Jonnu Smith, that they will both break the top 10 tight ends this season. So I was checking that out, and I was way off with Hayden Hurst so far. Obviously, just week one. We are overreacting for sure by even talking about this. But Hayden Hurst is in 22nd right now in tight ends. And Jonnu Smith just cracked the top 10. He is holding the foundation with 10th place. So I would say of these picks, Hayden Hurst is this is hot takes. He is ice cold. And Jonnu Smith is, of course, tepid. But speaking of tepid, I'm going to turn it over to you, Mark, with your picks to explain where you're at with those.
So I would say this first one's definitely way off base currently, week one, overreacting. But we have BC and him finishing above Noel in the rankings this year. He scored 134 points, and Noel came in with 178 points. So I think at this point, I'm counting on an injury on the Noel squad where he has to go to his bench. Apart from that, I do not think this will be happening. I was think
say, if you need help, I know a guy.
Yeah. That'd be helpful. Yeah. Unfortunately, Marlon Mack going down, that didn't help me for me pulling for BC.
I'm sorry, BC. That is some bad luck, my friend.
But this next one did pan out for me. I had myself winning the Mid-Atlantic division for the year, and Pinot going from the first to last position. And this was exactly correct. I was first of us four, and Pinot was the last of us four, which I think was a pretty good showing for us.
How is that possible? Did all four of you lose?
No, because John played Josh.
Yeah, so John is in first, you liar.
Oh, I'm sorry, points-wise. Points-wise.
Yeah. Okay, so
good
points
call.
4. But yeah, no, you were second place, I believe. Yeah.
That is true. I did overreact to the points regard coming in as
I will forgive you this once because Mark and I started a best ball league this year too, with our family, which is hilarious and fun. But I think that might have been influencing your decision because, I definitely haven't. Ever since we did that, all I'm doing is looking at like points for. It's addictive for sure.
Which there is thoughts. There are some leagues that do that where it's just straight points for rather than matchups. I think that we agree in that matchups making it competitive, making it more fun. A regular football game. It's all matchup based.
No, I think for best ball it's fine, but it's that's its own entity. I don't think you should mess with that. That's, as I would say, stupid. So,
I like it as a nice one out of a couple of the leagues, one of the kind of throwaway extras.
Yeah,
I think it's fun. And last one, this one I don't feel as confident in, was that Will Fuller nor Brandon Cooks are even wide receiver twos. It's not even the top 24 for our league. Fuller coming in with 10 targets, 23.7 points. Definitely cracked the top 24. Brandon Cooks struggled, 4.75. This is mostly a prediction out of the odds of them both getting injured. So that's kind of what we're waiting for, is just to see if they both can go down and make this happen for me. Do you know a guy?
I might know a guy. There's been like something in my eye for these last few segments, but anyway, the
jump over Devontae Adams and Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, exactly.
What that is?
Exactly, that's what it is. But all right, so for those of you who don't really care about our individual league, this is totally a fine point for you to check out of this podcast. But for those of you who are interested, we will share this with you. Obviously, you are more than welcome to join us in this endeavor. But this first week, we had our rivalry week. And so results going into the season, or our predictions going into the season, we had power rankings set up. And so to start the season out, our power rankings were E-Heater, myself, in first place. Nats Skins fan, Mr. Mark over here, in second place. Albizi in third. We all know Mark in fourth. John Staggers in fifth place. Seymour sixth. Jared Burkholder seventh. Ben Chapman was eighth. GM Newell ninth. Woofooty Hulk 10th. Connor in 11th. And P. Knower bringing up the rear in 12th. But after this week, I think we should talk about the game results first, and then we'll talk about where we think we are with the power rankings. So, Mark, in this first game, you and I were split. We were both vain and picked each other. So I picked myself, you picked yourself, and I came out on top, my friend. Yeah.
This was matchup of the week, two high scorers of the week.
Yes. But I get the title of Beast of the East with a score of 218 points. And I also had the biggest blowout, I think, even though you were still the second top scorer. So that I don't think those kind of performances are going to happen every week. But
I hope not.
Well, I don't hold the same sentiment, but I do think that they probably will not happen as regularly. But the second rivalry matchup was Jared Burkholder versus Connor Sweeney. And we both were pulling for Jared in this first game, and we were correct.
Yep.
And then John Staggers versus Josh Hennig, or Woofooty Hulk. We both picked John Staggers, and we were correct again. But that is where we start to change a little bit.
Yeah.
So
this is where we both went on Albert's side. Thought he'd get the revenge, but nope. Daniel continued that. Like I said, 2-0 against him, and thus far in the matchups, dating back to last year.
He will have another chance, I think, in week 7. I think is their next matchup. Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
Seymour over Ben Chapman. It's kind of what we both figured. Both got that right. Last one, we all know Mark over P. Knower. We both got that right. So you got one more than me. I believe I got 2 wrong. You just got the 1 wrong.
All right. So I am currently sitting at 5 and 1, and you're sitting at 4 and 2. Is that correct?
And unfortunately, Seymour is sitting at 6 and 0.
Yes. So we opened this up to our league because when we did our prediction video, we then offered it up to them and said, like, hey, you can do better than us. Prove it. And I guess only Caleb wanted to prove it. So far he's proven it.
He's proven.
but I will consider it beginner's luck. It's week 1. We have a long way to go. So stay tuned.
If you see this is stop us. If you see us stop tracking it, you can assume that
you'll know
he's winning.
Yeah. As of currently, we're still tracking. I am holding down second place, but in due to this, we've updated the power rankings for this week. So currently, I'm still holding first place. Mark's still holding second place. But we all know Mark has jumped up over Albizi with a win this week over Pinoer, and an Albizi lost to GM Newell. John Staggers, our steady Eddie, stays put. Jared has moved up a little bit, or did he? Did he stay exactly the same? No, he moved up. He moved up one spot over Seymour. GM Newell moved up 2 spots. Over Seymour and over Woo Footy. Then we got Seymour. We got Woo Footy in 9th place, having lost to John Staggers. BC is dropping very quickly, and we will see in the weeks ahead how far he can go, but he is currently in 10th place.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire can
carry
him
or not carry him, yes. Or as we like to call him, Clyde Edwards no air. With those 0 targets in the air for him this week. Not that he needed them.
He's like a beast. He's like good.
I know. It's just one of those things. Just like, why does the Chiefs get another weapon? It's just not fair. Anyway, so Pinoer. He has swapped spots with Connor to bring up 11th. And then Connor for this week in the bottom at 12. But
he didn't get a lot of help from Michael Thomas or Keenan Allen this week.
No, he is just getting so much bad luck. It's I wouldn't say it has anything to do with poor management this time around. But yeah, that's some rough stuff, dude. Anyway, that wraps up our very first week 1 wrap-up recap.
Come on, baby.
And so stay tuned. We actually had an interview as well with our champion from last year, GM Newell. So stay tuned to that. That's going to be a bonus episode. We originally thought we would put it in this one. We're like, it'll be like 10 minutes. I don't know. We had a good time. We talked for a while. So that is going to be its own standalone episode. But because of it, we came up with a segment I guess more of a series, not a segment, where we are going to be interviewing each person in our league to get to know the guys, hear a little bit about their strategies, their goals, and just since not everybody even knows who each other is in this league, the opportunity to actually see each other's faces.
Meet each other.
Yeah. But anyway, stay tuned for that, and we'll be tapping your guys on the shoulder to let you know when it's your turn to join us. But until next week, see you guys.
See you guys.